When it comes to engineering and technical matters, there is no hierarchy. As a young engineer, you should be able to express your differing view if it is for the benefit of the corporation.
If you have to take out one quality of each generation, so which one it would be?
Gen X was more about confidence and ownership and discipline. When it comes to millennials, they are more about power of collaboration and technology. Gen Z, I would take from Gen Z simplicity, and they are very fast learners.
You have worked in Hinkol and you have worked with HPCL. What is something that you learned from both the companies?
My experience with Hinkol gave me a lot of agility, it gave me wings, but HPCL keeps you rooted. I am seeing over the last 25 years what Hinkol was doing and what I learned there, we have implemented in HPCL.
What can be the three tips that you would like to give?
Empathy is must. Empathy is not weakness. Secondly, you have to be adaptable. What has succeeded in the past is not going to succeed in the future, may not succeed. Third thing, integrity. That is non-negotiable.
Hello and welcome to HP Unplugged, where we meet inspiring individuals shaping HPCL's future. Our guest today is a builder of systems and a believer in purpose, Mr. Ganesh P. Gaikwad, Executive Director, Central Procurement Organization Marketing, an engineer from VJTI who joined HPCL in 1989. He's worn many hats, site in charge of our Meerut depot, the driving force behind multiple Hinkol plants, LPG projects across the country, terminal automation at 60 plus locations, cross-country pipelines from Palanpur, Vadodara to Raman Mandi, Bahadurgarh, and a pivotal HRRL deputation that delivered water reservoirs, crude and water pipelines and gave momentum to development of storage tanks in the Rajasthan refinery and the crude oil terminal at Mundra. Today, he helms procurement for marketing division, stewarding an annual outlay of rupees 30,000 crore while hardwiring digital discipline, PR to PO, cycle improvements of about 10 days, real-time dashboards, RPA relief for repetitive pain points, and early Gen AI pilots that put probity and speed on the same page. But beyond the numbers is a mind that reflects. In his writings, The Chariot of Balance, The White Crow, The Infinite Game, Efficiency, he connects Arjuna's clarity, Chanakya's meritocracy, and a culture of principled dissent to how we actually work on Monday mornings. From chariots to checklist, from pipelines to procurement, please join me in welcoming Mr. Ganesh Gaikwad to HP Unplugged. Hello sir, and welcome to HP Unplugged. This is going to be a very enriching episode for me as well, because I'm a big fan of your blogs. I have read all the blogs that you have written, and which distills your vast experience. So speaking about experience, sir, one of the things that there is a lot of discussion that is going on in today's era is about working with various generation. The Gen Z is currently working. You have worked with Gen X, millennials, and Gen Z. So if you have to take out one aspect or one quality of each generation, so which one it would be?
Thank you, Sripto, for inviting me here. It has become your own studio, and I'm very fan of you, and I have seen most of the episodes which you have shot here.
Thank you, sir.
See, I'm a product of HPCL. Opportunities given to me over the last 36 years, and the choices made by me. There has been real joy in working across these three generations which you mentioned, and I have learned from each and every generation. Gen X was more about confidence and ownership and discipline. In fact, let me tell you, when we were doing the automation projects for depots and terminals, my project team was of Gen X team.
Okay.
And their methodical approach, their belief in technology, and their passion for and ownership for the successful completion of the project made that project successful. When it comes to millennials, they are more about power of collaboration and technology. They are very tech savvy. They are always trying to find out ways of doing things easily. And in my experience, the millennials work shine better as a passionate team working for results. Gen Z, I would take from Gen Z simplicity.
Okay.
They are less complicated. They think straight. They are more inclusive, and they are very fast learners. So I have learned all these things from the three generations, and I have grown with them.
Thank you, sir. Nicely you have put up, all the qualities of these three generations. So we talk about Gen Zs more in this session. So, can you share a small example where a young officer's idea made you update a rule or routine, something which has been going on for ages, but maybe a millennial or a Gen Z gave you an idea and you really liked it and you changed the routine or the rule and updated it?
Yeah, actually there are many such instances I can quote. The most recent one I can quote is that what dashboards we have developed in CPO,
Okay.
and the RPAs which we are using for automating routine processes. These are ideas which have come from the millennials because they wanted to do things more easily and they could understand the power of technology. I have picked up those ideas in which we have implemented.
And sir, there are some blogs that you have written about dissent, the power of dissent. So juniors often they hesitate whenever they have some ideas to put in front of the seniors, whether it will be right or wrong. Sometimes it is contradictory to what the senior is thinking. So how do you encourage a culture, or actually it could be a lesson for all the leaders that to encourage a culture where everybody has an idea can be put forth, even it can be contradictory to what the leader is thinking, but it can be beneficial in the long run. How do you cultivate such a culture?
Actually, Sudipto, let me tell you, I joined in 1989. Within the first 6 months, in one of our discussions with the then GM at the Engineering and Projects Department where I was working, he said that when it comes to engineering and technical matters, there is no hierarchy.
Okay.
As a young engineer, you should be able to express your differing view if it is for the benefit of the corporation. The idea should be separated from hierarchy. And I picked up my that lesson from there. So during my last 36 years, wherever I worked across all the SBOs, in all my interactions with my teams, I have always been talking about the culture of dissent. But you see, the culture of dissent can come only if there is a trust. I mean, for you to develop the trust that the freedom is available for the officers to express their opinion, differing opinion, and that they will not be penalized for that, or there will not be any kind of a negative thought process from the higher management. You have to develop the trust in them. And we have had, I have had successful such cases of dissent expressed by my team, in which we have implemented, in fact. I can tell you one of the example, when I was doing the Raman Mandi Bahadurgarh pipeline capacity expansion project for the intermediate pumping station at Hisar Barwala. Hitherto, the mainline pumps which were used were actually split BB3 type pumps.
Okay.
And one of my young team members suggested that this BB3 pumps market is dominated by foreign vendors. There are only few foreign vendors. But there are BB3 type, which is a radially split double casing pumps, which were in the LPG use, available in India, made in India. So why not we try that? And the established experts in the pipeline technical team, they said why we should try something new. Nobody has done so far that in industry. But then I spoke to our ED at that point of time, and he got convinced. And we are able to in fact procure those pumps at lesser cost, and they are running very successfully. So the onus of that decision was with me as a project head, accountability was with me. But the team had the belief, and we went ahead with it, and we managed to develop an Indian vendor, an alternative to foreign vendors. Another example which I can share is that when we did the automation project for depots and terminals back in 2007, the technology was just evolving in India. And to get the buy-in of the operations team, because we wanted to remove tank trap dips and gauging of tanks every day, the accuracy of the flow meters and the radar gauges was to be established. Though we completed the project, the stabilization took time. There was a lot of skepticism whether it will work, and the management was getting impatient. But my GenX team was very confident that the technology will work. And they were taking brickbats, that it was taking time. But ultimately, with a lot of hand-holding, we managed to make it successful. And today, as you must be knowing, only 5% random checks are done monthly. Okay. Otherwise, we completely have eliminated tank tug dips and tank gauging. In fact, it was a great satisfaction when two members of my team got outstanding achievement award for that project.
Okay.
So whatever skepticism, criticism was there, and the doubts were there, we were able to overcome that thanks to the belief of my team in technology.
Sir, thank you very much. This is, one thing is about them giving idea, and one thing is about accepting it and also taking accountability. So thanks to you for taking that accountability in both these very high stake projects, and going ahead with it, and letting your team also feel confident that whatever they do, their bosses backing and their leaders backing is there with them. That's very important, and thank you very much for that. Now, sir, I want to come to your experience about Hincall. You have worked in Hincall and you have worked with HPCL. These two are tad bit different kind of an organization. So what is something that you learn from both the companies, and what is HPCL can learn from Hincall and Hincall can learn from HPCL, if you have to go in hindsight and think about it?
It's a great question. In fact, see, Hincall is our JV with Colas from France. So Colas is a multinational. They are working in 70 countries across the world.
Okay.
So when I worked with Hincall way back in 1995, I almost worked for 8 years there.
Okay.
It was a totally different world. In Hincall, the team was small. There were no layers. So any problem comes, any opportunity comes, we will discuss over a cup of tea. And within 1 week, we will be able to implement it. So you are able to see the ideas getting implemented fast. So the team was more agile. The decision making was more agile. But when it comes to HPCL, there are layers. There are layers of reviews. There are layers of authorities. But then HPCL is more about solidity and depth. So I would say that both agility and solidity and depth is required. Looking back, my experience with Hincall gave me a lot of agility. It gave me wings. But HPCL keeps you rooted. We are in the public procurement. We are a public sector undertaking. So we have certain responsibilities. So with HPCL, SOPs and adherence to policies is very important. But over the last 25 years, the agility which was there in Hincall has now come to HPCL. Now HPCL has also started QC-based kind of procurement. Now government has also moved towards quality-based procurement, and also the agility in smart contracts. So I am seeing over the last 25 years, what Hincall was doing and what I learned there, we have implemented in HPCL. And in fact, most of the public sector also have done that. So times have changed. So the difference which felt very high that point of time, now it is, I think, we are as agile as any other JV. And one of the thing, people keep saying that in public sectors, you have to work with audit and vigilance. See, though Hincall was a private sector, whether audit
also under audit and vigilance must be.
Generally, the public sector norms are not applicable there.
Okay.
The fact is, audit and vigilance is about doing right thing at right time, in the right way. So just because you are in private company doesn't mean that kind of boundaries are not there. I mean, whether departments are exist or not existing, you still have to work with in the right way, at the right time, and in the right manner. So I would say that it is a mindset that in public sector the decision making is slow, or people don't take decision. Yes, there are few examples. Like I would say in a private sector like Hincall, you want to show the results quickly. So you have to take the decision fast. Whereas in a public sector company, people tend to work, that in my duration, nothing should go wrong. And fine, let the things the way they are going, let it happen the way. I won't try to take risk, because while the rewards can be high, but then if the risks don't fructify,
right,
then there would be challenges. But I think over the last 20-25 years, even HPCL has become as agile as Hincall, I would say, based on my experience.
And sir, your experience of that agility, I think you have brought in with guardrails in your current assignment. So just to highlight that you have improved the PR to PO timelines with dashboards and automation. And there has been a lot of discussion nowadays between how much of a technology or a process should be governed by technology, and how much it should be governed by human. So how do you balance that in your execution, in your current assignment, a balance between technology and human intervention?
Yeah, that's a great question again. It is a debate which is going on with all AI and GenAI in place.
Right.
And we are going into digital transformation. See, the dashboards what we have done in CPO, they have brought visibility and transparency to the procurement process. And with visibility and transparency comes responsibility and focus of completing each and every activity, each and every milestone in time. Automation can be used for repetitive processes, for increasing the speed. But when it comes to judgment and accountability, it has to remain with the human. So though we are doing a lot of automation in procurement, but then certain calls with regard to what should I say, consequences and importance and being in a public procurement domain, certain calls, certain oversight of human beings has to be there.
Okay.
So I would say that technology and technology has to go together with our own human interface. Technology will expedite the routine processes, but when it comes to strategic and control, I think it remains with the human, and I believe in that.
Thank you, sir, for clearly demarking that what is should be there with the human interface and how much we should rely on technology, because we need speed. So for that we need technology to come in, but also we need judgment. So for that human intervention is required. Now, sir, I want to come to your experience of 36-year distilled, if I can say. People who have not read your blog, I would request everyone to kindly go and read them because there are a lot of knowledge that they can gain from it. But if you have to give, 3 tips to the young generation to excel in their career and grow forward in this company or elsewhere, so what can be the 3 tips that you would like to give?
So what I have learned, Sudipto, is that empathy is must. Empathy is not weakness.
Okay.
Unless you understand the perception of your team members, their own perspectives, you cannot become an effective leader.
Okay.
You cannot get effective teamwork. So the understanding the point of view of the other person with empathy and maybe compassion is very important. Secondly, you have to be adaptable. Times are changing. What has succeeded in the past is not going to succeed in the future, may not succeed. So you should be adaptable.
Right.
You should be ready to change. You should be flexible. And I believe that progress is better than perfection. Taking quick decision is more important than doing a perfect decision too late.
Okay.
Third thing, and the most important thing I would talk about, is integrity. That is non-negotiable. You have to maintain higher standards of ethics and morality. The one thing about integrity in thought and action, with integrity comes responsibility, ownership, and ownership supersedes hierarchy.
Okay.
So what you have to do is, if something can be done by you, you must do it.
All right.
Don't down delegate or don't expect your boss to do it. That is also integrity. That is what I believe. And these are the 3 things I think the younger generation must focus.
Thank you, sir, for nicely distilling your entire career and giving us those tips. I'm sure the viewers will take that nutshell into their aspect, and they can grow in their careers. And thank you very much, sir, for appearing for this interview, for taking time and giving us your valuable inputs.
Thank you, Sudipto. It has been my pleasure. And I would love to see you in this chair being interviewed by somebody in future, and I would love to watch it from your home. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. What a masterclass on building systems that last and choosing harmony over hustle. From redefining work-life balance as purpose in motion, to making dissent safe and useful, to treating efficiency as compassion for people's time, Mr. Gaikwad reminded us that legacy is a daily habit. Mr. Ganesh Gaikwad, thank you for the candor and the compass. To everyone watching, tell us your reflections, your white crow moments, your micro habits that moved mountains. I am your host. This was HP Unplugged. Until next time, stay curious, stay constructive, and keep the infinite game in view.